Dating loss of Charlie Kirk, my incredible husband at UVU, Caleb has persisted with the same gift. Grit. It has been a long day.
Over the weekend in Phoenix, Arizona, they had the big white nationalist get-together, We're Cool party, and everybody who is anybody on the right-wing podcast sphere was there, except for a couple of people that were omitted. One of them was Nick Fuentes, and he was not invited. Poor guy. Oh, I'm so sad for him, little fascist. And one other person who decided not to go, although she was invited, Candace Owens, and we'll get to her in a second. But when I think about these guys, these white nationalists, Christian nationalist types, they really think that they have come up with this new idea. They have reinvented the wheel, you know? All of you guys are always saying bad things about fascism, but have you ever thought about fascism? Dude, we have been here before. There is a history of fascism, and it never really works out for the country in question. You know what I'm saying? But these guys, they're the young cool kids philosophers, although that used to be Ben Shapiro's title, the cool kids philosopher. But now he's no longer one of the cool kids. He's getting a little old. He's getting a little long in the tooth, and nobody likes him very much. Everybody is taking pot shots. The first day was on Thursday. So it was Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. They had this huge gala event. It looks like a goddamn mega church with pyrotechnics. It really reminds me of that TV show Righteous Gemstones. I have said this before in the past about the Christian conservative movement, and it looks like conservatism is just a big mega church. Donald Trump accepts donations from everybody, and TPUSA is right along with that. But all of these people all decided to get together and have a big, huge party for TPUSA when it just turns out it's basically just a bunch of podcasters screaming and yelling at one another. But they are all carrying the flame, carrying that flame for Charlie Kirk. You know, we are Charlie Kirk, we carry the flame. We are Charlie Kirk. I especially love the video when they had AI version of J.D. Vance singing that shit. Oh my God, doesn't it send shivers down your spine? It's so good. It's just so good. Oh my God. So let's go to Candace Owens, the woman that everybody is super pissed about because she has been doing exhaustive research, doing her own research, investigating the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And she has caused quite a brouhaha because she thinks that there are some other actors involved and it's not just the suspect that they have in custody. Maybe it's Israel, maybe it's the French government, maybe they're feds, somebody else is involved. There's a conspiracy to be had, and she is making bank off of this shit, doing advertisements, clicks and views. There is nobody else on this stage that gets more views than Candace Owens. And Candace Owens starts off her show. She basically trolls everybody that is going to be going to the TPUSA AmFest, Toilet Paper USA AmFest. Honestly, they should call it the Righteous Gemstones USA. RJ USA sounds a lot better than Toilet Paper USA, but anyway, I digress. So many people on the right invited Candace Owens to go to this TPUSA event, but she decided she wasn't going to go. And what made it a little bit more sketch, she ended up having a private meeting with Erika Kirk. It was not filmed. It was not aired. She did not show us any of the questions and answers that happened between her and Erika. It looks a little sus. So the next day she goes on and she kind of trolls everybody. Let's get into Candace Owens trolling all of the haters at the TPUSA AmFest event.
Okay, everybody, Shabbat Shalom. I just want to say Shabbat Shalom to everybody back at home. Happy Hanukkah to our greatest friends and allies. And, you know, this is a good time to mention that Israel does have a right to defend itself. Tucker Carlson is Adolf Hitler. And TikTok does need to be purchased by the Mossad. It's just how I'm feeling today. I am not different. Maybe you are different. Welcome back to Candace.
So yeah, man, that is some heavy trolling on her part. You know, she had been accusing Israel, and here she is going Shabbat Shalom and all that shit. Even though she's being cagey about all this, she did have a private meeting with Erika Kirk, and she did not air any of it. So nobody knows what they were saying. Now let's get to the main event. All of this was done on Right Side Broadcast News and on Rumble. All of the things that none of us normal people ever watch. But man, there are a lot of people here. This was huge fanfare. And God forbid I yuck anybody else's yum, or God forbid that I judge anybody on how to mourn the loss of their assassinated husband. But sequins and pyrotechnics, this is literally how she walked out on stage. I'm feeling the mourning. I mean, look at all this right next to all the people. That's a fucking fire hazard. I'm worried about all these people getting burned. This is ridiculous. I mean, honestly, they did this at the memorial service in Phoenix, Arizona a few months ago, back when they crashed Grindr like a half a dozen times. They literally did the same thing. They had pyrotechnics at a memorial service for a fallen hero. We don't need to hear anything that she has to say. I just wanted you to see the spectacle that is Turning Point USA. By the way, this is what was happening on day 3 of Turning Point USA. They made a mock awning to represent the awning in which Charlie Kirk was sitting under when he got shot. And we have fans out there taking pictures like it's some kind of fucking tourist attraction. I mean, this is skeezy as hell. Yeah, let's go and stand inside the booth that Charlie Kirk got shot, stand with all of our family and friends, and smile for photos. What in the actual fuck, y'all? Now, here's Erika Kirk, and she had a bit of a Freudian slip here, and it's on the nose, let me tell you.
Dating loss of Charlie Kirk, my incredible husband at UVU, Caleb has persisted with the same gift. Grit. It has been a long day.
Oh, yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah, it's been a long day, honey. I have never mistaken the word grit or gift for the word grift, but that's kind of what this whole thing is. It is a money-making opportunity for Erika Kirk and for a lot of conservative Republicans and podcasters out there. Everybody's making bank off of the death of Charlie Kirk. Make the man a martyr, build an effigy to memorialize him, and then rake in the cash, folks. Oh, how did this get in here? Sorry, I didn't mean to put that in there, but kinda, you know what I'm saying? They do have the same scowl on their face. Just saying. Now, of course, the right does have their fair share of celebrities. They're not the best celebrities, but when they get a celebrity, boy, they definitely get their hooks in and they pull them in and they keep them. We got the comedy genius that is Rob Schneider. Star of movies that have aged very well, like that Gigolo movie, or like that movie where he switched bodies with a teenage girl. The guy's got a lot of funny in him. Let's get a taste of that old school Saturday night funny from Rob Schneider. Yeah, come on. That's right, no doubt to the audience. We're cool, you're cool. I got a leather jacket.
Thank you. Turning Point USA, you can do it!
Oh, Jesus Christ. Can you imagine how many times people have walked by him on the street and say, do it, man. Do the thing. Do the thing. Come on, do it. You can do it! Oh my God. We're not going to waste our time with this sad comedy stylings of Rob Schneider. I just wanted to show you what kind of celebrities the Republican Party pulls, man. And TPUSA, they always get the best ones. Here's another one for you. We've got recently disgraced Russell Brand, who got accused of sexual assault and then somehow or the other found Jesus, was baptized in the blood of Christ, and now he is on the right. Russell Brand, let's give it up for him. Russell Brand, ladies and gentlemen. Pyro! Very Christian man with his shirt unbuttoned. Shows more fucking cleavage than I do. Listen, folks, I'm here to tell you that Jesus Christ is amazing and he's changed my life. Don't you love me?
We are at AmFest.
Oh, fuck yes.
Merry Christmas to you.
Oh, thank God he said Merry Christmas, because there has been a war on Christmas for years. The Democrats are always trying to take it away from us. And by the way, Merry Christmas. I have no problem saying it. Merry Christmas. I could also say Happy Holidays too, but Merry fucking Christmas. I'm Russell Brand. Oh, I'm fucking funny. Years ago, I did a parody where I said that I was Jesus, but now I'm worshiping Jesus because I've turned my life around now that I almost got busted for sexual assault. But I found the Lord, and now all of you have to love me, right? Because I found God. Give me a fucking break, Russ.
Praise the Lord. I got to tell you, I did not anticipate being between Ben Shapiro and Tucker Carlson at a moment where that don't seem like a good position to be.
Yeah, well, you strike me as the kind of guy who would love to be in a menage a trois with a couple of right-wing goons. We got another celebrity here. This one actually kind of surprised me a little bit. I had no idea that Nicki Minaj had gone full right wing, but here she is at TPUSA AmFest, showing a lot of hair and a lot of legs, sitting next to Erika Kirk, and here we are, praising the Lord, praising Trump.
I have the utmost respect and admiration for our president. He has, I don't know if he even knows this, but he's given so many people hope that there's a chance to beat the bad guys.
I know that
It's always good guys and bad guys with these people. You know, non-definable terms. We're the good guys. They're the bad guys. They killed him. They. It's everybody on the left. All the Democrats. It's they. It's them. You know what I mean?
you are getting a lot of backlash from your own industry. What is your reaction to that?
I didn't notice.
Amen.
Amen. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. That's just fantastic. Honestly, I could give a flying fuck about Nicki Minaj. I never really thought that she was all that talented to begin with. I'm just kind of surprised that she is posing as one of the good ones. You know, you're in a room full of white people. I would be nervous, honey. Here is the wannabe future president of the United States. The man who said back in 2016 that Donald Trump was America's Hitler. And now here he is as Donald Trump's best boy, his number one guy, JD Pants. Get out there and sing my praises, little bitch boy, with your gender affirming beard. Otherwise, he'd look like a Cabbage Patch doll.
Anybody, and I love what Nikki said about this. We don't treat anybody different because of their race or their sex. So we have relegated DEI to the dustbin of history, which...
Explain that one to me. We have relegated DEI to the dustbin of history, but we don't judge anybody by their race or sex. Although, if I remember correctly, Charlie Kirk says, every time I get on a plane, I want to look up in the cockpit and make sure I don't see a black guy flying the plane. But we don't judge anybody by their race, gender, or sex. What about all the trans people that you have a problem with? To say that you do not judge anybody by their race, gender, or sex, and then immediately say we have trashed any DEI programs, it's the height of hubris. It's absolute horseshit.
exactly where it belongs.
By the way, that crowd, it don't look like a bunch of young people. I'm seeing a lot of bald heads and wrinkly faces.
In the United States of America, you don't have to apologize for being white anymore.
Oh, fuck off, man. Nobody has had to apologize for being white, you bunch of victims, you. Oh my God, you're so weak and pathetic. I am always being put upon. You how difficult it is to be a white man in America? With all the privilege in the world, you know how difficult it is. We're such victims. Get the fuck out of here.
And if you're an Asian, you don't have to talk around your skin color when you're applying for college, because we judge people based on who they are, not on ethnicity and things they can't control.
By the content of their character. Bitch, fuck off.
We don't persecute you for being male, for being straight, for being gay, for being anything. The only thing that we demand is that you be a great American patriot, and if you're that, you're very much on our team.
Honey, I am not on your team. We just saw at the last one of these that y'all had like a month ago, Usha Vance, your wife, who happens to be an Indian woman, you were basically on stage saying, I really wish that she would convert to Catholicism and get rid of her evil Hindu ways. God, he's so skeezy, this guy. We got more from old couch fucker J.D. Vance. Have a listen.
President Trump did not build the greatest coalition in politics by running his supporters through endless, self-defeating purity tests. He says, make America great again, because every American is invited.
That right there is a shot at Ben Shapiro. Everybody on the right is trying to cancel Nick Fuentes because he is just a little bit too racist for them. Honestly, I think that they're all as racist as Nick Fuentes is. They just don't want to admit to it. Nick Fuentes is just very out in the open for his love of Hitler and his hatred of the Jewish folk. I believe that most of the conservative party does not have a very happy thought in their mind about Jewish people or anybody in Israel for that matter. But they don't want to have to admit to that, and they canceled him from this event. They did not want him to come, and they shunned him for this. But that right there, that statement from J.D. Vance about canceling people, that is him defending Nick Fuentes against people like Ben Shapiro, against people like Lindsey Graham and Ted Cruz, who took Nick Fuentes to task for being an absolute fascist, Hitler-loving Nazi.
We don't care if you're white or black, rich or poor, young or old, rural or urban.
Rich is better, though. We like it when you're white and rich. We definitely like that. That way you can donate to us.
Controversial or a little bit boring or somewhere in between.
That was definitely. Nick Fuentes is controversial. Ben Shapiro is a little bit boring. I mean, he's not saying any of the names, but he is definitely pointing fingers.
People of every faith come to our banner because they know that the America First movement will make their lives better, and they also know that the Democrats don't care about anything other than maybe transing their kids.
Whatever, man. That has become pretty perfunctory with the Republican Party. It's like Donald Trump has been including it in all of his bleats on Truth Social, so now everybody's got to say that. Is kind of like a rite of passage. The Democrats are transing their kids. Transgender for everyone. That's what they want, folks. They want little Johnny to go into the nurse's office and then come out a girl. All it takes is 5 minutes and they will trans them up free of charge. That's what the Democrats do. And that's why we had to cut health care, because they were transing everybody. This is so fucking stupid.
all of us to be richer, stronger, safer, and prouder. You have a home on this team.
You know, I wrote a book called Hillbillyology, and I should have just named it Fuck Them Hillbillies, because I like rich white folk. We got a little more from the would-be, wannabe future president. And this one, the FBI's handling of the Charlie Kirk assassination has not been good. Not been stellar, if you will. And the things that people are saying publicly, especially people with as much outsized power as the Vice President of the United States, pointing their finger at somebody who has not been convicted of a crime, that could be a lawsuit waiting to happen. Tyler Robinson has an amazing court case against so many conservative, not just politicians, but also pundits out there who have been trashing his name. By the way, came from a Christian conservative family with a lot of access to guns. And I'm not a lawyer, but this kind of comes off pretty illegal, but whatever. It's conservatives, it's Turning Point USA, and the right wing don't give a shit about the rule of law.
Scripture tells us, by your fruits ye shall know them. And we might ask,
You see what I mean? This is a big fucking mega church, man. This is a Joel Osteen special here. You know, with the big PA system, the huge stage, the lights, the camera, the action, the sparklers, the whole fanfare of it all. This is a mega church, just politicized.
fruits of these people and their principles? And the answer is a man named Tyler Robinson who killed my friend.
Allegedly, right? That's what we're supposed to say. Innocent until proven guilty. He's just saying, that guy did it. I know he did it. He killed my friend. By the way, I'm trying to score with his wife, and I'm trying to take over his podcast whenever I can get away from the White House.
Think about it. He has everything that the far left want from our young men. He rejected the conservatism and the spirituality, the values of a small town family. He moved into a small apartment. He became addicted to porn. He became addicted to hate. And he ended up sleeping with somebody who doesn't know whether they're a man or a woman.
All of that is allegedly. We haven't heard a word from either one of them. We are going on the word of cross-eyed Kash Patel and the FBI. And we're taking this bearded lady's word for it up here, telling all of us that he absolutely did it. This has got to be illegal, right?
That is the nightmare scenario, but that is the scenario that the left has actively advertised they want for American families.
What leader on the left has ever said any of that stuff? Hell, they don't even have to be a leader, just a regular old run-of-the-mill Democrat. We want you to get away from your Christian conservative ways, grab a gun from your Christian conservative dad, and then go do an assassination for the left? What in the fuck are you talking about, JD's pants? Get the fuck out of here. All right, so let's move on to the main event. The big brouhaha that has been brewing is the Ben Shapiro against all of the other farther right-leaning Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens fans. And Ben Shapiro is pretty pissed off. MAGA infighting erupts at Turning Point USA. Two of the night's headliners, Ben Shapiro and Tucker Carlson, threw jabs at each other in their speeches. By the way, Ben Shapiro was first up. He came out on Thursday night. He was the headline speaker of that night. And he did not get to go back on stage, so he didn't get to rebut anybody else. He got out there, he says his piece, and then every other podcaster, Republican extraordinaire gets to go out there and bash the shit out of poor old Benny boy over here. Old Ben Shapiro, the old school cool kids philosopher.
But even if it were true that other public figures were our best friends, our very best friends, that does not relieve us of our duty to speak out of principle and not to cover up evil or shy away from addressing it out of friendship.
By the way, I just want you to read the scroll on the bottom. This whole thing is not just a fundraiser for Turning Point USA, but Erika Kirk is shilling her husband's book, his unreleased book called Stop in the Name of God. And now she's also adding this to the money-making machine. Donate to Turning Point USA and buy my dead husband's book.
So no, Tucker Carlson, it is not an excuse to go silent on Candace's targeting of TPUSA.
Oh, here's some booze.
Or to mirror her lines of questioning because you love Candace personally. The same holds true of Megyn Kelly, a person I consider a friend, characterizing Candace as a young mother and thus shying away from condemning her actions or fibbing about them. That is a non-starter. Meghan Markle is a young mother. Ilhan Omar is a young mother. That doesn't matter.
Notice he went straight to two black women. Tell me you're a racist without telling me you're a racist. It's like Donald Trump always calling any black woman reporter a nasty woman. Just any black woman in general is a nasty woman. Tell me you're a racist without telling me that you're racist.
And when Megyn said this week, quote, my goal and my job here is to try to understand, yes, where Candace is coming from on this, and says she sees no purpose in inserting herself, quote, into this on one side, that is a moral and logical absurdity. There is only one moral side here, Erika Kirk's side.
There's only one moral side here. How much money can we make off of this? Can I get my clout back? Will you guys start watching me again?
You know, the side of the widow with 2 children whose husband was shot live on camera in front of all of us. Friendship with the person accusing TPUSA of a cover-up of Charlie's murder is no excuse for cowardice. We have a duty to take responsibility for what we say and do. If we hire awful people, we're responsible for that. I have some experience there, as you might suspect.
He's talking about Candace Owens. She used to be part of his channel. And I guess he is lamenting that at the moment, but you didn't have any problem with her while she was actually praising Adolf Hitler, which she did. You had no problem with that. You didn't have a problem with her hanging out with Kanye West after he went off on Jewish people. You gave her a pass on that one. You had a problem with Candace when she started criticizing Israel and what they're doing in Gaza. I am not giving Candace Owens any credit for this. She's doing this for her own personal reasons, whether it be some kind of controversy, some way to get clicks, or if deep down she actually is anti-Semitic. I think that she might be. But at the same time, you didn't have any problem with her saying anti-Semitic shit until she started criticizing the state of Israel. And then that was the bridge too far. And then that is when you fired her.
That means that if we offer a guest for your viewing, we owe it to you to ask the kinds of questions that actually get at the truth. If we agree with the guest, that's fine, but we should own it. So, for example, if you host a Hitler apologist, Nazi-loving, anti-American piece of refuse like Nick Fuentes,
a lot of people like him there, man. Just saying.
You know, the Nick Fuentes who said that the Vice President of the United States is a, quote, fat gay race traitor married to a Jeet.
That's very racist. But I do think that J.D. Vance is, little DL gay. I'm just saying.
The person who said that Charlie Kirk was a, quote, idiot.
Fucking idiot.
The person who said, and pardon my language here, it's his quote, that he, quote, took Turning Point USA and it, and that's why it's filled with groypers. If you have that person on your show and you proceed to glaze him, you ought to own it.
That was a shot at Tucker Carlson.
There is a reason that Charlie Kirk despised Nick Fuentes, and indeed even chided Dinesh D'Souza for debating him. He knew that Nick Fuentes is an evil troll, and that building him up is an act of moral imbecility. And that is precisely what Tucker Carlson did. He built Nick Fuentes up. And
I can't believe that anybody would actually listen to me. After hearing my voice for more than 3 minutes, I want to shoot myself. Oh my God.
For a decade, this has been the guy that all conservatives listen to. And now he's just not right-wing enough because the Overton window has shifted further to the right. And now the people who are filling that void are Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes. You notice the crowd is not completely with him. Even though he is railing against Nick Fuentes, he's getting a smattering of applause and he's getting some boos and hisses. So, sorry, dude. I don't know if this is going to help out your program at all.
Take responsibility for that, just as he ought to take responsibility for glazing an alleged sex trafficker Andrew Tate, or for mainstreaming fake historian and pseudo-Nazi apologist Daryl Cooper as America's best and most honest popular historian. Hosts are indeed responsible for the guests they choose and the questions they ask those guests.
Well, actually, I do kind of agree with that. If you have a huge following and you have a lot of people that hang on your every word, you should be responsible for the guests that you bring on. And if you are bringing on people like Nick Fuentes, you're basically telling all of us that you want his rhetoric out there and you want him to do the hard lifting for you. Tucker. We got a little bit more from Benny Boy here.
To cast aspersions at Mikey McCoy and Andrew Colvin and Blake Neff and Tyler Boyer and yes, at Erika Kirk. And to imply or outright claim complicity in a cover-up over Charlie's murder. To spew absolutely baseless trash implicating everyone from French intelligence to Mossad to members of TPUSA in Charlie's murder or a cover-up in that murder.
By the way, Candace Owens did not only imply that Israel had something to do with Charlie Kirk's death, she also implied that Erika Kirk or somebody on the inside of Turning Point USA had something to do with his death. So this is him pointing his little bony finger at Candace Owens.
As people with a microphone have a moral obligation to call that out by name.
They look rather nonplussed about all this.
Erika Kirk and TPUSA never should have been put in the position to have to defend themselves against such specious and evil attacks, particularly in a time of mourning.
Yeah, man, for a time of mourning, you got to put on your sequins and march out on stage to pyrotechnics. I mean, that's how you do real mourning.
And the people who refuse to condemn Candace's truly vicious attacks, and some of them are speaking here, are guilty of cowardice. Yes, cowardice.
I mean, this is supposed to be a gathering together of people that liked or loved Charlie Kirk, to memorialize him or whatever, eulogize him. And it's just an infight fest. It's a internal conservative civil war. And it's really not about any policy. You will not hear through this entire video any policy prescription for the American people. This is just, I want to take Charlie Kirk's spot. No, I want to take Charlie Kirk's spot. No, I want all the power. No, I want all the power. It's got nothing to do with you. This is a glad-handing masturbatory act. All of these people are sniping at each other because they want more clicks, they want more power, and they want more fucking money.
The fact that they have said nothing while Candace has been vomiting all sorts of hideous and conspiratorial nonsense into the public square for years is just as cowardly.
Weak sauce, Ben Shapiro. Weak sauce. Sloppy Steve Bannon. Sloppy Steve wears 27 layers. I'd hate to smell what he's got cooking underneath of that 13th shirt. He is out there and he is on the Nick Fuentes side of the aisle because straight up fash, man.
Shapiro is like a cancer, and that cancer spreads.
Not Nick Fuentes. Not Nazi propaganda that is spreading throughout the conservative movement and affecting all of us in America right now. If I didn't laugh at this, I would cry, because what in the fuck is happening to our country, man? They are literally trying to bring back white nationalists. Conservatism is devolving into this fascistic thing. They are pushing so hard in that direction. It blows my mind. You are not reinventing the wheel, folks. Y'all are just Nazis. You're just doing a rerun. This is the American Fourth Reich. That's all this is.
It's a cancer and it metastasizes. He tried to take over Breitbart, and I ran him out of there. He tried to take over David Horowitz's, who was his mentor. Don't ask me. Ask the guys associated with David Horowitz what he did there. He tried to take that over. And mark my word, he will make a move on Turning Point because he's always been envious of Charlie Kirk.
He just trying to start some fucking drama, boy. He really wants to get something started, doesn't he? And by the way, he's also doing this as a distraction because he's in the Epstein files. He was friends with Jeffrey Epstein. There's pictures with them together. There's photo evidence of them together. There's email evidence of them together. They were scheming and plotting behind the back of Donald Trump, trying to get out some information to make Donald Trump look bad. Well, it didn't really work out too well for Jeffrey Epstein, and Steve Bannon is still on the outs. Even though he's at the Turning Point USA event, he don't get to hang out with Donald Trump anymore. Donald Trump doesn't like him mostly because of the way he looks. The fascism is probably fine with Donald Trump, but he's Slappy Steve, and you know me, I like him looking like they're straight out of Central Casting. The Ben Shapiro Bash Fest continues. This is the rebuttal from Tucker Carlson answering back to what old Benny Shapiro was throwing his way.
Then we, as people with a microphone, have a moral obligation to call that out by name. So no, Tucker Carlson, it is not an excuse to go silent on Candace's targeting of TPUSA.
On the first day of Turning Point USA's annual youth conference, popular conservative influencers Ben Shapiro and Tucker Carlson attacked each other on the stage.
I just got here, and I feel like I missed the first part of the program. Hope I didn't miss anything meaningful. But I just want to say, I don't think I did. No, I'm just kidding. I watched it. I laughed. That kind of bitter, sardonic laugh that emerges from you when, like, Upside Down World arrives.
Tucker Carlson's famous psychotic laugh that he has. Is that what you mean by sardonic laugh there, Tucker?
When your dog starts doing your taxes and you're like, wait, it's not supposed to work this way. To hear calls for, like, deplatforming and denouncing people at a Charlie Kirk event, I'm like, what? This is hilarious.
Tensions have threatened to disrupt an event that was focused on memorializing Charlie Kirk, the late founder of Turning Point USA. And they also show a growing chasm in the Republican Party.
Chasm? Man, Republicans are dumbasses. It's chasm, not chasm. Moron.
Israel and its war in Gaza. There are many young Republicans who are increasingly vocal and raising concerns that Trump's alliance with Israel does not reflect an America First agenda.
You know, not for nothing, but it is troubling. I do not like the conflation. I've said this before, but I do not like the conflation of Jewish people and people of Israel, or the leadership, the Likud party in Israel. You should not be conflating those things, although the Conservative Party has been trying to do that for years. Ben Shapiro calls everybody anti-Semitic if they criticize the government of Israel. He would call me anti-Semitic for criticizing Ben Shapiro, Smotrich, or Ben Gvir. They are all the new Nazi party. They are straight up doing an ethnic cleansing. They're doing exactly the same thing that was done to them. But Ben Shapiro would accuse anybody that criticizes that of being anti-Semitic. So conflating Jewish people with the Israeli government is inherently dangerous, because the Israeli government is not stopping in their carnage in Gaza. By putting those two things together, a lot of Americans are now going after Jewish people that have absolutely nothing to do with what's going on in Israel. It's dangerous stuff. This is how fascistic movements grow. This is like miracle grow for that kind of shit.
Because killing people who committed no crime is immoral. It will always be immoral. And people who do it will be punished for it. And nations that endorse it will be punished for it. That's a fact. And you are seeing now a very intense effort to convince you otherwise.
Candace Owens responded to Shapiro, who is Jewish, by doubling down on her unfounded conspiracies that somehow Israel was involved in Kirk's death.
So let's get to that little bit of conspiracy. I wanted to show you her rebuttal to all of this. She answers Ben Shapiro back, and she does not mince words. I mean, I hate to keep using the word fascism, but good God, man, it's pretty thick.
Look at you, and I just think you are such a little worm. I could see you right now, probably. What can we get out to her? We're going to sue her into bankruptcy again, right? Sue her for every infraction, every word that I don't like, and every time my feelings are hurt. Because what you really believe in is Baal Berith. That's what your people believe in. You believe that you are contract lords and that people are not allowed to violate contracts or you will ruin them for years. You fire someone and you effectively stalk and harass them for years after. I'm here to let you know that I'm done with it. I am done with it. This one is so fully off of the mother effing plantation. Truly, Ben Shapiro, fuck you and the midget horse that you rode in on. Damn. And I say that on behalf of the world. I know you're going to get applauded by Konstantin Kisin and Andrew Christ is King Clavin and all of the people, the men who have to keep applauding what you do like you're a 4-year-old to make you feel good. But the rest of the world can't stand you. You're obnoxious. You have absolutely no values that exist outside of the Talmud. You describe yourself as a Talmudic Jew.
This is so very Mean Girls. I don't like you and nobody else does either. I'm going to ruin you. Good God, woman.
And what's in that Talmud, and I encourage other people at home to learn what is in that Talmud so that you know what Ben thinks of you, because he doesn't just hate me, he hates you too, white men. He hates all black people, okay? If he's following the rules of the Talmud, I mean, when I say hates, they think that we're animals, that they have a right to own us, that they have a right to make us worship them, that they have a right to lie to us, that they have...
What she's doing here is she is basically pointing the finger at Jewish people. Those are the ones that enslaved black people back in the day. The United Kingdom or Britain, Great Britain, had a company called the African Slave Trade Company. It wasn't Jewish people that was doing this, okay? It was us here in America, white men in America, and it was white people in Britain that was doing that shit, okay? But this is her saying it was the Jews that did that. I mean, like I said, this is how Nazi movements are born, through this kind of psychotic rhetoric.
To us and take everything that we have, that they have a right to deceive us, that they have a right to treat Charlie the way that he treated Charlie while he was alive, only to then try to defraud the population into thinking that he is somehow a part of his legacy, that he somehow cared about Charlie Kirk and cares to protect the people that are working at Turning Point USA. Goodbye, Ben. Goodbye. The question is, how much more money is Ben Shapiro going to spend to make people think that he's popular? How many more articles is his father going to write under a pen name, Hank Berrien of the Daily Wire, under the pen name Hank Berrien, as he wrote while Ben was at Breitbart, before he turned his back and betrayed them too, because that is his nature. He's one of these belly creatures, sliver on. The question is, how many more weeks and years do we have to keep pretending like Ben Shapiro is relevant?
He's a belly creature. Oh, man. And all of that was pointed not just at Ben Shapiro, but Jewish people. Now, Megyn Kelly, she decides to take a shot at Ben Shapiro. Man, everybody's fucking catching strays at this Turning Point USA Fest.
Conservative movement. I'm not. He wasn't. Ben Shapiro isn't either.
Well, Megyn, you mentioned him, and your name came up on this stage last night in regards to pretty much all of this. Would you like the opportunity to respond?
Well, I found it kind of funny that Ben thinks he has the power to decide who gets excommunicated from the conservative movement, which shows a willful blindness about his position in it. It reminded me a little of when the girl who was the head of our middle school chorus told me she was going to take all my friends away from me. Chorus? A head cheerleader maybe, but like, so I resent the whole thing. I object to the whole thing. Ben and I, he had the nerve to call me a friend right before he called me a despicable coward for not calling out the people he once called out. So he both wants to parent me and be my child. He wants to tell me what I have to do and who I have to say what to. And then when I don't, he and some of his friends want to act like utter victims because I won't do what they say. They need me. I have to be their daddy and step in to protect them.
Oh my God, man. Not only did she just call Ben Shapiro a little girl, which, by the way, in the conservative party is one of the biggest insults that you could ever throw at a man. But now she's saying, I'm your daddy. You were a little girl and I'm your daddy. God damn, man. God damn.
Daddy and step in to protect them. And I am not their daddy. And I resent that he thinks he's in a position to decide who must say what to whom and when. Thank you. So I don't think we are friends anymore. I've been a very good friend to Ben. Nobody knew who the heck Ben Shapiro was when I started putting him on my shows on the Fox News channel, and I helped make him a star.
I made you, Ben Shapiro. You are a little girl. I'm your daddy, and I made you. Woo! It's getting hot in here, y'all.
And I helped make him a star. And I've been very, very good to Ben over the years, and he's been good to me too. He just recently came on my tour, as did you, and I gave him the most kind introduction I could possibly give him because I know that he's losing subscribers a lot.
Woo!
And so I tried to do something nice for him by giving him a long 10-minute intro and personally vouching for him. And we mixed it up on Israel out on stage. It wasn't Israel because we're on the same place on Israel. We mixed it up over whether Tucker Carlson should be excommunicated from the conservative movement, which I do not believe. And thank you.
A much bigger round of applause for that.
And when it was over, we hugged, said goodbye, and then we had a nice text exchange a couple days later saying our friendship was important to us. And the next thing I saw was him attacking me on stage last night as a coward. So that's not friendship. And I think that's fine with me, with friends like that.
Ooh, man. And it wasn't just Ben Shapiro that Megyn Kelly was dropping bombs on. She also decided to go after Barry Weiss, who, by the way, is on the same page as Ben Shapiro. Everything in deference to Israel. The reason why she was hired to be the head of all news of CBS by the Ellison boys was because she is a Zionist. Larry and David Ellison are big Zionists, and they gave a woman with absolutely no business being the head of news at CBS giving her that job. They paid $150 million for her stupid ass little YouTube program. And then they got her to run all of the news, which, by the way, she had a town hall with Erika Kirk. And instead of using any number of very experienced news people from CBS, she decided to take it on herself and conduct the interview. A woman who has absolutely no experience at this. She is not a journalist. She's never been a journalist. Then again, Megyn Kelly's not a journalist either. She's another fucking talking head. They're all talking heads like me. I'm not a fucking journalist, but I'm not running CBS News. You know what I mean? Anyway, she goes after Barry Weiss, and it's kind of glorious. I will give her credit for taking down Barry Weiss because I cannot stand that woman. She has absolutely no business doing what she did. By the way, just a side note on Barry Weiss, there was a story that was supposed to come out on Sunday about the Seacot prison. You know, the Bukele's dungeon in El Salvador. And she got a message from on high, Larry and David Ellison, to kill the story. It had already been vetted. It had already been processed. It had been weeks in the making. And it was about to be aired on Sunday. Barry Weiss killed the story because her bosses want to buy Warner Brothers. And the only person that can allow that to happen is Donald Trump. So the Ellison boys, in order to placate the God King, the Mad King, the Boy King, Donald Trump, they told her to kill that story because it's going to make Donald Trump look bad, and he would not like it. So I'm sorry, if the president says that a story can't be published, then it can't be published. That's how we do the news these days. I'm not saying that I like Megyn Kelly. I just like her taking down Barry just on principle alone.
Where it seemed like that call was being co-signed by the new head of CBS News, Barry Weiss, and I wanted to know if you wanted to respond to that as well.
So it's a similar situation with Barry. None of this is about them calling me out for anything I've said or haven't said, or it's certainly not about Erika Kirk, as Ben tried to make it sound last night. It's about Israel. Those two are very pro-ardent Israel activists, which is fine. But they don't get to dictate how the rest of us feel about Israel or what we do with respect to our friends and our friends' opinions on Israel. And I'll tell you, Barry Weiss wants to couch herself as Erika's protector, Erika's defender. She's retweeting the Ben speech, saying anybody who doesn't call out conspiracy theorists is a coward. Erika Kirk barely knows Barry Weiss. Barry doesn't know anything about Erika. Barry Weiss has never been to a Turning Point event. Do you guys remember her here? Standing up for what we believe in when Charlie was alive? I don't remember her standing up for our principles. I don't remember her defending Charlie the many times he was called a racist or an anti-Semite. I really don't remember that at all. What I do remember is she had Erika Kirk come on one town hall in which Barry Weiss tried to play both super important VIP executive and super fabulous star anchor at her new network CBS.
God, she's such a fucking trite little mean girl. Super fabulous. All right. Let me just act this one out. All right. God damn, man. She literally is the grown-up version of Regina George, given total Regina energy over here.
Pro tip, Barry, that's no way to win friends at your new organization.
Stop trying to make fetch happen. You know what I mean?
Steal all the hosting abilities of the on-air talent. So good luck with that. And what she did when she had Erika there was to have the nerve to bring on the man who asked the final question of Charlie right before he got shot.
Hunter Kozak.
To put Erika in the position of having to defend whether Trump uses hateful rhetoric.
Well, I mean, he is kind of your guy. You're always defending him, no matter who it is, whether it be Erika Kirk, Barry Weiss, Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson, or you, Megyn Kelly. You are all little fluffers for the Mad King. You know you are. So what are you getting mad at? You are all doing the same fucking job. If you guys didn't see that town hall, the guy who asked Charlie Kirk his last question before he got shot, the one where they were talking about gun violence, and then ironically enough, Charlie Kirk gets assassinated in the middle of answering that question. But Barry Weiss brings that guy on to ask Erika Kirk, you have been denouncing violent political rhetoric. That's a good thing. Thank you for doing that. But our president is the biggest purveyor of violent political rhetoric in the country, nay, in the world. What do you have to say about that? How do you justify that? How do you square that circle? And of course, Erika Kirk just kind of looked at him a la Bride of Chucky. She gives him this, I mean, her little lip twitch. She was like, She was so mad. And then she looked at him and she goes, thank you for your question. I was like, God damn, man. Sent a chill down my spine. I would not want her to give me the fucking evil eye. But at the same time, Megyn, you all defend Donald Trump. You cannot condemn violent political rhetoric on the other side when you're ignoring the main guy that does it to everyone.
The nerve.
I'll just say I didn't appreciate when I saw that happened, and I don't think that ever should have happened. I don't think that question should have been asked. And I noticed that when Hunter Kozak did that, he immediately went to try to get Erika to denounce Trump, denounce his rhetoric. This is a man who was standing in front of Charlie, in front of her husband when he died. And
well, he didn't shoot him, you asshole. He would just happen to be asking a question on gun control, and ironically enough, he takes a fucking bullet. It does not get much more ironic than that.
Never once even said to her the basic human decency of saying, I'm sorry for your loss.
He was sick.
That's bullshit. He absolutely said that. He prefaced that whole question with, I am sorry for your loss. Lying motherfucker. Anyway, I wanted to move on to one last little funny tidbit that happened here. So there was this guy, the one wearing the Nazi armband here. He is wearing this ironically. He is dressed up like Hitler Youth, and he went to this event, this conservative event, and he's outside of it because he got kicked out, and he is chastising all of the conservatives out there. I believe this man here is Jewish, and he is chastising all of the conservatives that were at this function for being Nazi lovers and Nick Fuentes lovers, and he's kind of rubbing the whole Nazi thing in their face. If it wasn't so fucking sad, it'd be fucking hilarious.
Praised Hitler? They invited people who call Jews cockroaches at this event. This is what this event represents. This is everything that this event represents. Shut the fuck up! You guys love Nazis. You guys failed to condemn Nazis.
There he is right there, the little mustachioed guy. Little short king over here yelling beta male. I mean, that's so fucking 2018, man. You are well past your date on beta male. By the way, the guy who pioneered the phrase beta male is a guy named Jesse Lee Peterson. Completely conservative guy, but he's also been out of the public eye for a while because he got busted for being gay. And you know, conservatives, they don't like the gays, man.
Constantly.
Loser.
This is what they love.
Nobody likes you.
I'll give this to you.
I'll have it.
Take it.
I'll take it.
Because this is what he is. This is what they are.
Oh, he wants it.
They are all Nazis.
I wish.
He wishes
I
he
wish
was
Trump was a Nazi. I wish Trump was racist.
These are disgusting.
Trump is not racist.
Right,
We're not associated
with the NYY. We're
I'm my own thing, by the way.
Okay, so thank you.
But
so
this
these
guy's
are
a
the
faggot,
people
and
who are invited
everybody
to the event.
knows it.
These are very clearly.
Hey, I actually got thrown out. Ask them. I got thrown out. So I didn't. Listen, they condemned me. They threw me out.
They did not condemn him. These are exactly what he's short. They didn't.
This is in New York City. This is not at the Turning Point event, but all of these people are all part of that movement. If you're nervous about the Nazis out there, the new Nazi movement that is sweeping across this country, I want you to keep these little short men, these little mental midgets, if you will. I want you to keep these guys in the back of your mind, because every last one of them, from these guys to the Turning Point USA event, to all of the losers that have joined ICE and Customs and Border Protection, every last one of these guys are losers. They have nothing else in their life but this pathetic little movement. So I know that it seems scary, but I also want you to remember that this is the enemy that you're worried about. And I could probably take out at least a couple of these guys pretty easily. Am I afraid of the little mustachioed short king? No, I'm not. And neither should you be.
That's what you're saying. Does Israel deserve a border? Does Israel deserve a border?
You guys gotta go.
Let what go?
All right, I'm taking this back.
I'm taking it. This is mine now.
Oh, he wants that. He absolutely wants that. I guarantee you the next event, he will be wearing that under his suit jacket.
I want it.
We have plenty at home.
We have plenty at home.
You guys are.
Does Israel deserve a border?
Because they're actually going to use this.
Are you Jewish? Are you Jewish?
Yes, I'm proud
Does
to be
Israel
Jewish.
deserve a border?
What are you talking about?
You think borders are racist?
Stop answering this piece of shit. Don't worry. You're
You
Jewish
invited
too,
him
aren't
to your
you?
fucking
Get
club.
the fuck out of
You
here.
gave him a ticket.
Bam!
Whoa! Whoa!
Damn!
Get the fuck out of here.
Ooh! Boy, he cold cocked him. Check it out. Watch that shit again.
Stop answering this piece of shit. Don't worry.
You invited him to your
These are the ones that we need to be afraid of, these little Nazi guys. This is an American tradition, y'all. This is what we do to Nazis in America.
Whoa! You gave him a ticket to the fucking... Whoa! Whoa!
Boy, he is shook. Look at him. Boy's back in the 5th grade again going, damn, my daddy just smacked the piss out of me. That's right, son. Catch your balance and go run off to your bros, you little bitch.
Okay, let's get the fuck out of here.
Oh, you're not a tough guy you want to throw down? You got nothing, huh? No, let's get out of here. It's actually getting real. You know, I don't believe in like physical violence. I mean, I'm just really tough with my words. Smack that bitch back to the boondocks. Bye. Bye. Bye, Felicia.
Walk the fuck out.
Then he runs off and talks to a whole bunch of other wannabe Nazi asshats. I believe this one guy over here is Sneeko, you know, another conservative podcaster out there, but he's just immediately goes over there and goes, he just smacked me in the face and I don't understand why. I mean, we're all Nazis here. I don't get it. Oh, God, man. Every last one of these people are just fucking weak sauce. It was a crazy weekend. The girls are fighting again. All the little podcasters are out there sniping at each other, which is supposed to be an event memorializing Charlie Kirk. And it's obvious that not one of those people gives a flying fuck about Charlie Kirk. There's an old expression. What's the quickest way to forget a tragedy? Build a memorial to it. Then you can put it out of your mind. Out of sight, out of mind. And that's ultimately what all of these people want to do. They want to eulogize this man. They want to turn him into a martyr. They want to turn him into the rights version of MLK Jr. And then they want to move on and absorb all of his power. And right now what you're seeing is a division of all of what was Charlie Kirk's movement, the Turning Point USA movement. Everybody is trying to get their slice, and everybody wants a bigger slice. Right now it's Candace Owens, Nick Fuentes, Tucker Carlson. Their power is on the rise, while somebody like Ben Shapiro, his power is waning. But everybody is in a mad dash to grab up what little remains of the metaphorical carcass that is Turning Point USA, and they want to devour and bring it in to their fold so they can make a profit off of it, because ultimately that's what all of this is about: gaining power and making fucking money. Anyway, that's the show for the day. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you sticking around. I know it's a long video, and I know that I run my mouth constantly, and I don't know how to shut up. If you stuck around to the end of this, thank you so much. And if you did, and you enjoyed this, like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. It helps me out. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and have a wonderful holiday. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all of the holidays. Really enjoy it, and I will see you next time. You take care. Bye-bye. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe. Keep rocking.